Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 8 of the Braindrizzle podcast with me, Q Dragon, and I'm with my co-host, as always, Jack. Hello, Jack.
Hey, how's it going?
It's just us this week, and we have some pretty awesome news. I think this week was like, all the news is designed to give me a science boner, because it's just awesome biotech and medicine news all around.
Woot. Okay, tell me some of this. Share your porn.
So, first story we got is, well, it's sort of news. Well, it's been going on a long time, but a project to clone mice, and they successfully cloned mice for 25 generations.
Oh, yeah?
It's like making a clone of a clone of a clone of a clone.
Like that one movie. Was the last mouse really dumb?
The thing is, they found a way to prevent any degeneration between cloning.
Really? Okay, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, so basically they inhibited an enzyme related to epigenetic modification. I won't go into the details. It's called histone deacetylase. But basically they inhibit the enzyme to prevent errors in gene regulation. So they now had almost 600 mice from one mouse. And they cloned the clones and clones 25 times, and pretty much all the mice had a normal lifespan and fertility.
Kick ass.
Kind of ruins all the sci-fi, where that's a plot point.
Yeah, it does. Like, I know that there's one episode of Star Trek in general where you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with this planet? They don't have they don't have a way to counteract this. What the hell's wrong with you, Federation? Well, then again, Star Trek has the catch-all about the world falling into chaos and their Earth civilization rose from the ashes of a dystopian future. It could be conceivable that, well, we just never refound the technology, according to the Star Trek Next Generation world, but still.
Yeah, it's funny because they did the cloning by taking the nucleus from a body cell and inserting it into an egg without a nucleus, and then just turned into an embryo, basically. But it just seemed so funny to me. What seemed like a really complex issue was just inhibiting one enzyme, and that, like, solved most of the problem.
Serious. How dumb do we look right now?
I know, right? That's exciting. Then, we've got some news about the immune system. Have you ever wondered how the body actually produces new antibodies?
That one keeps me up at night. Yes, I do wonder. Please tell me.
Well, apparently, according to an international team of researchers... Oh, by the way, I should mention that the mouse cloning story was Japanese researchers.
Sweet!
But this story is an international team, and it's basically the B cells, which produce antibodies, induce their own evolution. So there'll be like a population with a variety of different antigen receptors on their surface, and then when they detect a pathogen, they'll purposefully mutate the genes that make the structure of the receptors.
Far out.
It gets better. They produce antibodies around them, and they compete with all the different antibodies in their surroundings to bind to the pathogen.
Holy shit. So, like, cats run into cat treats, then?
Pretty well, kind of. But here's the thing. If they don't bind well to the pathogen, and compared to all the other antibodies, they die.
So if the cat does not get to the cat treats, or the cat can't chew the cat treat, it dies. I don't like this anymore. Yes. You stop killing cats.
Well, you're the one who made the cat metaphor.
Damn you, Schrodinger.
But I just thought it was really cool because basically, okay, new antigen, the B cells mutate, compete with each other, and if they don't do it well, basically they only get survival signals from other immune cells if they bind well.
Really? Wow. Neat.
Yeah, so basically the immune cell is like built-in self-eugenics. It's crazy.
Yeah, That is not what I expected at all, but I can sleep now. I can finally rest. My quest is over. I now know.
And I love the idea that even if humans were the only living thing on Earth, which is impossible, obviously, but let's say humans just woke up in a space shuttle with amnesia, they could study their own immune system and discover evolution.
Be an interesting plot for some kind of movie.
Yeah, like, I don't see how people can deny evolution when the mechanism is literally keeping people alive.
Hey, guess which cast-offs just discovered evolution? The 37?
Is that a reference to something I don't know?
It's a reference to Star Trek. You should know that one. You're the Voyager fan. Oh god, I just made a Voyager reference. I just made a Voyager reference!
It's okay, Jack.
No, it's not.
Just remember, 7 of 9.
7 of 9.
Makes all things better.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, you're actually a little quiet.
Oh, yeah, that's because I was talking quiet.
Okay.
I know it doesn't happen very often, does it?
I know, that's kind of nice. Anyways, moving on.
Screw you.
I kid.
Alright, moving on.
Then we have something I'm very excited about. Some researchers from the University of Guelph improved on...
The University of what?
Guelph.
Say that again.
Guelph, Ontario.
Guelph.
Yes.
Guelph. What university you go to? Oh, okay, we'll wait for you to swallow your food before you tell us. What? Okay, it's not funny anymore, honey. Guelph. Oh, I will never go there. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, they made an improved version of the EnviroPig, which is a genetically modified pig. Basically, in pig food, a lot of the phosphorus is in a form called phytic acid, which pigs can't naturally digest.
Oh, snap.
So farmers usually have to add the enzyme into their feed, but it's expensive and complicated to administer. And then it ends up, there's a lot of phosphorus in the pig waste, which ends up causing problems in the environment. EnviroPigs have the phytase enzyme in their saliva, so they can naturally digest way more of the phosphorus in their diet.
Alright, that's respectable. The university shall henceforth be referred to as the university that shall not be named.
So basically, previous versions, they had troubles passing on the modification, but this new version is more stable in passing on the modified gene. So I thought that was cool.
That's pretty legit.
But no word yet on actually testing the meat for safety, which really, I don't really see how it could be dangerous considering that it's one enzyme that dissolves a particular phosphate compound in the pig's salivary glands.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Bacon's bacon.
Exactly. And everyone wants cheaper bacon.
Ah, bacon.
Bacon.
I had bacon today.
Oh, I hate you now. It annoys me that people get so freaked out, like, oh, GM meat, oh, it's like one enzyme, and pigs have like thousands of enzymes in them, and when you cook the meat, all of that shit breaks down.
Yeah, seriously, that's the main thing. It's like these people expect that the GMO meat is going to be somehow radioactive, because that's totally how that works.
Unless they're gonna French kiss the EnviroPigs and get the phytase enzyme inside them somehow, not a concern, really.
Deep within the public school system, an unsuspecting young lad is going through the cafeteria line where he is subject to a freak phenomenon that was considered too rare to be of any importance to the FDA when eating his pork chop product. He became radioactive pork boy!
That'd be like the worst superhero ever.
Brought to you by GMOs. GMOs.
Brought to you by Monsanto's.
Radioactive pork boy versus the Monsanto man.
Dr. Monsanto sounds like a legit supervillain name, though.
Yeah, probably because there was also Santo, the Libre wrestler back in the day. This supervillain would, in fact, have a Mexican wrestling mask. That's what Monsanto looks like.
Mixing wrestling / gas mask, and then you'd like spray pesticide on people.
Oh my god. Okay, we need to put this in a comic, even if it's just like a one-off political comic, man.
Yeah, okay. So if you're an artist and you're listening to us,
Even though it says the exact opposite of our stance on GMOs, that's still a bitchin' idea.
our position that can be good isn't exactly relevant to the actual business practices of Monsanto's.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So, Monsanto.
So draw a concept for Dr. Monsanto as a scientist / Mexican wrestler with a wrestling mask / gas mask and herbicide pesticide shooters.
Seriously. Somebody needs to get on that. That is gold. Maybe I can get my sister to do that. If no one else does, I'm gonna like go over to the next room and be like, hey. So it'll happen one way or the other, bitches.
One way. But we want to see your interpretation of the supervillain Dr. Monsanto.
Yes.
That'd be pretty funny.
Dude, that would be so awesome. That'd be tight.
Could you imagine if we somehow got a Monsanto representative on the podcast?
We know what picture we'd put up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think we should move on.
Yeah.
Before we get, like, sued or something.
Sued for what?
I don't know, libel or something? I don't know.
Yeah, sued for being a nuisance online.
Oh god, everyone would be arrested.
Oh god. We're all guilty.
And to round off my fantastic little news list
Yes.
is some regenerative medicine research.
Ah, yeah?
Apparently some researchers are working on making new teeth.
Oh, hell yes. Yay.
King's College London, that's where they're from. Now, I have one problem with this, is they call them bioteeth. I'm sorry, you can't just put the prefix bio in front of anything and then it's like all magical.
It's like putting the letter E in front of everything like they did in the late 90s. They're doing that thing. Seriously, guys, stop it. But no, give us new teeth, because losing teeth sucks. I don't want dentures. Ever.
They mixed some cells from human gum tissue, and then... One second. Make sure I got this right, because it's crazy. So, okay, they isolated some cells from human gum tissue, then they grew that in a dish, and combined it with cells from a mouse that produced teeth, and they were able to grow new teeth in the mice.
Really?
Yeah. So these mice had hybrid teeth. That's insane.
Holy crap.
If you could get a new tooth, would you want it hybridized with something?
Dude, I'd like that thing to be hybridized with, like, fucking shark's teeth.
That'd be kind of ridiculous.
Dude, how amazing would that look? Oh!
Actually, that would be great. Because shark teeth are really easy to fall out, and you don't have to have the gum structure to replace it.
And not only that, but harvesting them would be a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, then, oh god, hybridized teeth with, like, a puma or a lion, so I could walk around with, like, some legit fangs.
I think I would choose beaver. Not the shape, but just the structure. Because beaver teeth must be, like, ridiculously strong.
They never stop growing.
Yeah.
You'd have to file your teeth, though.
Well, maybe we could work that out in the hybridizing process.
Dude, you know what that'd be like? That'd be like, okay, fingernails on a chalkboard, except it's happening inside your head. I do not want beaver teeth.
Well, I would pick something with a really hard teeth and then just be like, have like a hybrid bite. Okay, new superhero. Something with a, like, animal hybrid mouth.
The beaver.
This entire podcast is just gonna become concept art ideas for superheroes, isn't it?
Hey, I'm not complaining.
Neither am I. That was all sort of really exciting news to me, because I'm like, ooh, cloning. Ooh, evolution in the human body. Ooh, genetically engineered pigs. Ooh, new teeth.
New teeth. Ooh. Hybridize my teeth with, George Washington's.
I don't think that would work. Yeah.
Speaking of pseudo-historical figures that are fed to children as good as myths, shape-shifting Jesus apparently was a thing. They found an ancient Egyptian apocryphal text that described Jesus as being a shapeshifter.
That's way cooler than regular Jesus.
Shape-shifting Jesus. Apparently he could become insubstantive and could take on any form.
Okay, third superhero.
Jesus.
Shape-shifting Jesus. Send us your concept art.
No. Not shape-shifting, just flat out Jesus. And it's kind of interesting. Like, this thing is over 1,000 years old. Yet you have Jesus being shown as being depicted in every race and creed across the world. Like, you got black Jesus, you have white Jesus, you have Asian Jesus.
Well, maybe that's just people wanting to think of Jesus as coming from their ethnicity.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, obviously that's it, so they identify with, it's an identification thing, it's an artistic license, which is completely understandable given what this art is supposed to represent, right? But who knew that shit was canon? Well, okay, extended universe canon, but still, fuck you.
Oh, I like how the Bible has extended universe canon.
They call it the Apocrypha. Now that's a pretty cool name. That's a pretty good name for it. The Apocrypha.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Anything that's extended universe, I'm gonna start calling it the Apocrypha, the Star Wars Apocrypha, because that sounds so much more badass than extended universe.
I remember, I think there was like a cracked skit where like the mention of extended universe got them a slap in the face.
Yes, but the extended universe. Fuck the extended universe! Apocrypha. That's why people need to start saying Apocrypha. You know, there are apocryphal texts and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, eventually, that's where our society's gonna become. Like, religion's gonna die, and then we're just gonna start arguing over, like, sci-fi and fantasy stuff to the level of religious zealots.
For one, that already happens. Have you ever been in the back of a game shop?
Dude, I've been to Comic-Con. Actually, that was pretty fun. But I'm sure there was some serious arguments going on down there.
Yeah, but everybody shut the fuck up when they saw the bat signal, so you never got to see any of it. I tell you, man, it's bad. It gets bad.
The wars of the future will not be fought over religion or land or anything. It'll be fought Kirk versus Picard, and then they'll have to reconcile their views to fight the Star Wars people.
Oh gosh, that would make so many you'd have real life Romeo and Juliet, because I'm a Trekkie, and dude's a Star Wars fan, and there's so many households like that where it's like Star Wars versus Trekkies.
And then science fiction, fantasy, comics, the use of the word apocryphal will be mainstream to refer to extended canon. So I think what we're saying is we want to make wars happen over that stuff. Right, Jack?
We do. This is what we want to happen. I mean, we need to fight over something less stupid, and I think that science fiction might be the solution to our problem.
Yeah. We'd all really be bad at fighting, so probably no one would be killed, or very few people.
Are you kidding me? We'd have motherfuckers building their own unmanned drones in their backyard.
Yeah, that's true.
This is no longer a good idea. This is an awesome idea.
Yeah.
I'll teach you to like Janeway.
Yeah, oh god, that'd be so terrible.
Indeed.
It would be fun to have like a video game where you could really pit them against each other, like a FPS.
Yes. Kirk versus Janeway. Someone call the cops.
You can pick a faction based on any sci-fi series.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Somebody in Korea make that shit.
Okay, so that's 3 concept art requests, and then a big video game. So, get on that, audience.
Damn it, Jeeves. Tell the audience to get on that.
Yeah. And then give us most of the money, because it's our idea.
Jeeves, get on that patent.
We're gonna patent games where there's science fiction crossover. Although, I think that'd be kind of unfair, like, because Star Trek, I mean, just on a purely weapons level, phasers just blow everything up.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you just give like, phaser, widespread, kill. Everyone's dead.
Those TIE fighters, motherfuckers making sound in space and shit. I don't know, man.
Well, okay, Star Trek does that too.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
In fact, I'm pretty sure every sci-fi, except for 2001: A Space Odyssey, has had sound in space.
The standard space sound in Star Trek, and like Star Trek The Next Generation, is just a whooshing sound. It's not unlike the sound of blood going through the veins. The only thing that's missing is the astronaut hearing their own fucking heartbeat because they're floating in space and seeing a massive ship go by that cannot see them or hear them and will not help them. Oh god, that's dark.
But we're getting off topic. So, shape-shifting Jesus was a thing, evidently.
Yeah, and apparently, like, according to this particular version of the tale, like, apparently the Last Supper happened with Pontius Pilate, who offered to sacrifice his own son in the place of Jesus, and Jesus was just kind of like, oh, because you have been so good, I will not make you do that. Because, you know, Jesus, he's a shapeshifter, and he just happened to be Irish at that table. But yeah, in Coptic and Ethiopian churches, Pilate is regarded as a saint. It kind of makes sense with this sympathetic portrayal. I mean, it's like, you know, it's weird how you come across these alternate ideas of how things went down, and you end up with these weird sympathetic portrayals. Like, Pilate's getting a sympathetic portrayal here. Andrew Lloyd Webber gave Judas a sympathetic portrayal in the rock opera.
You've lost me.
Jesus Christ Superstar was basically the Passion through the eyes of Judas. According to this, also, he was apparently arrested on a Tuesday instead of a Thursday.
So Easter shouldn't be on Friday? I don't know.
Easter should be on Friday instead of Sunday.
But isn't... Oh. Okay.
Easter's on Sunday, dude.
I just have a day off and eat chocolate. I don't keep track of this shit.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Okay, instead of shape-shifting Jesus, apparently Jesus has taken the shape of somebody who is not a Sith Lord. They got a new pope. I'm sure you heard about that, and apparently it's some guy from Argentina. Anyway, the new papal election is triggering doomsday theories.
I mean, someone burns toast, and it's fucking doomsday.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I stubbed my toe.
Like, there's a day where the grass doesn't grow at all, and it's like, oh shit, the world's ending.
I was writing down the date today, and I realized that there were too many threes, so the world's gonna end.
So what is the reason for these particular doomsday theories?
Alright, so basically, there's two medieval prophecies. One of them from Nostradamus. The first one is, like, Saint Malachi. There's, like, 122 short phrases that he wrote, and each one is supposed to pertain to a pope, right? And the phrases are really accurate up to about 1590, and then they get vague after that point, and they try to say that this thing came from, they try to say that this thing came from, like, the 1100s. But they're pretty sure that it was forged in 1590 because everything's accurate until you get to there, and then everything gets all kinds of fucking vague, right? And apparently, Benedict was Country of Animal. One of the Benedicts, not the most recent Benedict, was just Country Animal, and one of the Pauls. The guy this century was Flower of Flowers, Paul VI. Pope John Paul II was Pope number 110, and his phrase was from the labor of the sun, and everybody's thinking that that's dead on because of the fact that there was a solar eclipse somewhere in the world the day he was born and on the day of his funeral.
Yeah. Well, so what does it say about the new guy?
The new guy is... let me find it. I know the old guy was Glory of the Olive. I don't know, Nazis don't have anything to do with olives, so I'm going to say that's pretty incorrect. Anyway, Pope number 112 is the last on the list, the Pope that just got elected. It says, in the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will pasture his sheep in many tribulations, and when these things are finished, the city of the seven hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people. The line reads, the end.
Well, I mean, at least it ends.
So, does that mean that we're finally going to see the fall of the Catholic Church?
That would be kind of awesome.
But then that means prophecies are true. But hey, no more Catholic Church, but they were right. What the fuck?
Unless people get influenced and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Okay, I could see that. I mean, there's enough mystic New Age business in the Western world to quite possibly facilitate that kind of uplift of movement from the people, vibes and shit.
The last Pope really was fucking creepy and looked like Emperor Palpatine.
He did. Oh my god, he so fucking did. I mean, that guy scared small children, and he just, like, up and quits. That guy's a bitch.
At least this the new guy, isn't as creepy.
Francis. Nice. But he's a homophobe. Man, I miss John Paul II. That guy was legit.
Well, I mean, okay, were you really expecting something different? It's a pope. I think that's on, like, the resume. That's what they put in big letters.
But dude, Pope John Paul II was a fucking bamf, and then you get these pussy-ass motherfuckers following up after him. I bet you anything this guy quits, and we're gonna, like, see a bunch of them quit. Quitting being the Pope is gonna be, like, a thing. I bet you anything, man. We're gonna see another one of these.
And then they just retire to, like, a solid gold retirement home.
And gets killed when the roof collapses because it's stupid to try to build something out of solid gold.
Well, you know what I mean.
Anyway, so yeah, that's a thing. And Nostradamus gets involved with a bunch of bullshit. Something about two suns appearing, and they think it's the comet. You know what? If anybody really cares, they can read that.
Yeah, Nostradamus has, like, the worst track record ever.
Dude, like, what the hell wasn't that guy a cobbler?
I don't know.
Cause see, what the hell did Nostradamus do for a living?
I think he was just like a professional prophet, and he's like, oh, this shit's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen after I die, so just pay me now.
Let's see. God, I can't remember, keep thinking he was No, he was not a cobbler. Bohm was a cobbler. Okay, yeah, different dude. Okay, anyway, different whack job from from like 500 years ago. This guy named Jacob Bohm. He was a cobbler. Nostradamus was a fuck off, I think. I think that's what he did for a living. He was a fuck off.
Probably.
Either that or like a merchant or something. I don't care. Anyway, moving on to boobs. Boobs. Like, this is an old story, but I saw it and I was just kind of like, boobs? Back in September, they reported on this off of Live Science, because I'm doing that site today. You want to fight about it? Basically, asking why straight men like boobs so much. Oh, I accidentally closed the article. Shit. Hold on.
You were just too distracted.
By the boobs, yeah, I was.
I wonder how much we're gonna see audience retention go up in, like, the last few minutes.
Okay, finally. Got it back open. No, my keyboard fell out of my lap, and I accidentally hit a quick button that closed the tab I was in. Son of a bitch. Anyway, apparently the study was only done on straight men, but I assume this would also carry for lesbians. But yeah, apparently dudes like tits pretty much for the same reason that infants like tits. When a woman's breasts are stimulated, the neurochemical oxytocin floods our brains, and it focuses the attention and affection on the infant. And apparently that's not exclusively for infant bonding. If a dude touches her breasts and she becomes sexually aroused in that particular instance, because like there's somebody in front of her who she finds sexually arousing or a possible like sexual option, the chemicals are such that she bonds with that person, whereas I'm guessing there has to be like something different going on when she's nursing a baby to when like there's a dude.
Let's hope.
They do know that when nipples are stimulated, it enhances sexual arousal for most women. And it also activates the same brain areas as, like, vaginal and clitoral stimulation. Pretty cool, but when a sexual partner stimulates those, oxytocin again, and it actually makes the chick more attracted to that person.
So basically, people like them because through trial and error and evolution, we instinctively know that liking them will make them like us.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Like, men get the urge to press women's buttons, the buttons on her chest, like, make her like me! Make her like me! That's what's happening. That sounds about right. Actually, that sounds like very accurately what would be happening.
I love a skit where, like, the first caveman to figure this out. Like, he's seen nursing mothers, little caveman light bulb comes above his head, and he's like, holy shit, I've got a great idea.
But yeah, apparently, like, this doesn't happen with other breastfeeding mammals. I guess it's exclusive to humans. we tend to form monogamous relationships. I know a lot of people say, well, monogamy is not the natural, is a construct, it's not the natural way that humans do stuff. Bullshit. Humans get jealous of each other generally, and truly polygamous situations don't often occur. What people usually think when they think monogamy is one man, one woman, get hitched, lose their virginity to each other on their wedding night, and then stay married till they fucking die. Like, they're thinking that as monogamy. Or something. Or, like, have a couple of sexual partners but get married to one person as with that same one person. No. Getting divorced and remarried apparently actually better matches our evolutionary way of doing mating. If you live long enough to have multiple spouses or multiple mates, then you will do so. It used to be back in the day we didn't necessarily live that long, and the whole till death do us part thing is a construct. However, what we have is serial monogamy.
Yeah, like, at this point, well, it's 8 years, so, yeah.
It's just like, you get married at 15, you're only going to live till 25. Yeah, 10 years, that's about right. Yeah, but I mean, that's what makes sense. But all these people are just like, oh, the divorce rates are going up because, marriage is a disaster, blah, blah, blah. No. This is actually kind of where it's supposed to be at. I mean, you actually have people getting into what they call starter marriages, where they intend to break up eventually. This is a partnership that is good for where they're at in life right then. That's actually a thing.
That's a little too far in the other direction to me.
Yeah.
Premeditate, like, both people are like, just get married for a few years and then, whatever. It seems like a trial period of software.
The civil unions that some states are doing for gay marriage, I wonder, I might, try to examine that as an option for, anybody that I get with. I want gay marriage to be legal everywhere, but let's keep that civil union thing around, because I think that might actually be a much better option for the changing culture and the changing views about marriage and what monogamy means, as well as there's also the little problem of human fucking nature being what it is.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that the, some of these civil unions might better facilitate that, because I kind of like to be able to have certain rights and protections and be able to buy shit with whoever I'm with. Now, I'd like a partner and not a baby daddy.
Yeah.
Or baby mama, as the case may end up being.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How did we not degenerate from this topic? We went from an article about boobs onto a serious topic.
Oh, fuck. Okay, okay, we still have time to fix this. We still have time to fix this. I don't know.
No, that's it, we're out of time.
Oh, crap, we are out of time. Well, thanks for tuning in, fans.
This is the last episode of the podcast,
Ever. Also, breaking news from Nostradamus, you will never see boobs ever again.
Bye-bye.